Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello, my dear friends and students. So, in this video, I want to solve one example from asset replacement project. So, if you remember, in the previous videos, we have solved three examples of asset expansion project. As an expansion project, simple means to increase the number of assets and do not sell the old one. But what is the difference between this question and the previous one? In this one, or in this project, we replace means we sell the old machine and we purchase the new machine. So a few adjustments are required. Rest of the thing is same like the previous one, right? Now let me read the question. I have a question here. Let me solve it. The cost of the new machine is equal to 50,000 and installation expenses equal to 20,000 and comes under 3 years maker class. So up to this point, it is just same like the previous example. Now, next point. The original basis of the old machine. Now, in this example, we talk about the old machine as well. ماشین نو خدا بارش گفتم اول دوباره چی گپ نزنیم ماشین کنه خیلی ماشین کنه چی گپ شده یا ماشین کنه با چی ترتیب قبلا امروش دیر شده چی مشخصات داشته. The original basis of the old machine to be replaced is 30,000. It means the cost of old machine was 30,000 and depreciated using a straight line over 5 years. So per year equal to how much? 6,000. The original cost of the old machine was 30,000. And for calculation of depreciation for the old machine, we use different method. Doesn't matter whether they use a straight line method, written decline method, or whether they have used the maker. So they may have used other method of depreciation. Also, it is allowed, so they could use it, right? So we assume that the old machine, or for calculation of old machine, we use the other method. So it means we used a straight line method and the life of the project or asset was 5 years. So 30 divided by 5 per year was equal to how much? 6,000. Next, the machine has 2 years of depreciation remaining. See, this is the point. It means the age of or the life of the old machine was 5 years, but it's still 2 years of the life is remaining or 2 years remaining life. So it means depreciation is calculated for 3 years and 2 years is remaining, right? So one information. Next one, BW or Basket Wonder, name of the company, can sell the old machine for how much? For 6,000. See the point here? This is the information which is given regarding the old machine. Old machine cost was 30,000, but they have divided the life into 5. So 30 divided by 5 becomes 6,000 per year. 3 years of depreciation is charged, which become 18,000. 18,000, right? So 18,000 is charged yet as a depreciation. How much is remaining for the remaining 2 years? 12,000. So the cost of that asset is still to be charged as 12,000. But Basket Wonder can sell in the market for how much? For 6,000. This is the information. The new machine will not increase revenue, but it decrease operating expenses by 10,000. See the point? Do not increase revenue, but decrease operating expenses by 10,000 per year, right? For each year, it decreases operating expense by 10. Net working capital will rise to 5,000. Tax rate is 40%. The new machine salvage value is 10,000. Calculate the relevant cash inflow. So one more point to remember in the case of old machine. Once again, let me talk about old machine. Old machine cost was 30,000, right? 3 years of depreciation is charged. Let me take a question here. Suppose for old machine cost was equal to 30,000. Let me increase the font size. Cost was 30, but depreciation charged up to this point is for 3 years. So each year, 3 year, for 3 year, each year we charge 6,000. So 6 into 3 become 18,000. So from 30 minus 18, the remaining amount is equal to how much? 12,000. So it means we have to sell the old machine for how much? For 12,000. But we sell it for how much only? We sell it for 6,000. So if you sell for 6,000, it means you suffer a loss of equal to how much? 6,000. So definitely we suffer loss. Why? Because if 18,000 is yet calculated, اگر 30,000 قیمتش بده 18,000 تومانی depreciation تونوس چارج شده باید چند دیگه چارج شده؟ 12.4 اگر ما تنهایی رو به چند میفروشیم تا بازار؟ به 6000. به این معنی که 6000 ما در پروژه کونه چی میکنیم؟ نقص میکنیم. درست است؟ Let me highlight the important points of this question, then we'll come back. See? Okay, let me take this pen. Cost of the new machine is this much. Capital expenditure is this much, right? It comes under 3 years marker class. We know it from the previous question how to calculate it. This information is important. Regarding old machine, what machine? Old machine information. Cost was equal to 30. Life was 5 years. Per year depreciation was 6,000. It's still 2 years of depreciation is remaining. 2 years of depreciation remaining, it means so we have to sell the machine for 12,000. Why? So 12, 6,000 into 2 became 12, but we sell in the market only for how much? For 6,000. So if you sell at the market for 6,000, it means you suffer equal to how much? You suffer amount of equal to 6,000. Why? Because you have to sell for 12, but you sell it only for how much? For 6,000. So definitely you suffer. You suffer how much? You suffer 6,000 in the old project. That is that. Next, because of the new project, revenue do not increase, but operating expenses decrease by how much? By 10,000. Decrease in the expenses itself is also the profit. Tax rate is equal to how many percentage? 40%. Working capital also increased. See it as mentioned? Working capital also increased by this amount. At the end, the new project, we're not talking about the old project. The new project itself at the end can be sold out for how much? For 10,000, right? So if this is so, now let us apply it in the formula and calculate it, right? See, information is available. Cost of the project was equal to 50,000 and installation expenses was equal to 20,000. So I have, like the previous example, I have given just the steps here. So you can apply the steps and find out the value, right? Cost of the project was equal to 50,000, so mention 50,000. Capital expenditure, if you see from the example, was this much. And of course, working capital also increased by how much? Working capital increased by 5,000. So these are the information that we need for calculation of initial cash outflow. So cost of this one, our capital expenditure was this much. Capital if increase mentioned in this column, capital if decrease mentioned in this column. But in most of the case, capital increase. So if increase, so this column is 0, right? Capital increase by how much? Increase by 5,000. If there is an increase, so it means there is a no decrease. In this example, we have this part. Why? Because this is an example of asset replacement. Minus sales of old asset. Old asset is to be sold for how much? See, basket window can sell the old machine for how much? For 6,000. So mention this one as minus amount. So mention this one 6,000. As it is minus amount, so we have to take it with the red color. Let me make it red. Why? Because it is minus, right? Next one. In this project, or we can say in the old project, we made profit or we suffered loss. So as I have shown you in the case of this one, in the case of old project, we suffered loss. Why? Because we had to, or we supposed to sell it for 12,000, but we sold it for how much? For 6,000. So it means you suffered a loss of 6,000, right? So this is the rule that if you make profit, you have to pay tax for the government. If you made profit, you have to pay tax for the government. But if you suffered loss, so the government will repay for you. We know it from the financial management, right? So as in this example, there is no profit, so column of profit becomes 0, but column of this one, of course, so we have to mention some amount. How much loss we suffered? If you see, we suffered loss of equal to how much? 6,000, right? So out of 6,000, 40% will be paid by the government, right? Now you can mention 6,000 multiplied to 40%. So calculate this one. If you calculate this one, so you will get an amount of equal to how much? 2,400, right? So 2,400 will be considered as amount that we have to retake back from the government, right? So how much we have to take back from the government? 2,400 we have to take back from the government. So as it is once again, it is the amount that we receive. So once again, we have to show it with the negative sign, and I'll also let me take it with the red color. So make it red. This is the amount. Now easily we can calculate the cost of the initial outflow of the project. 50 plus this one becomes 70, 70 becomes 25, 25 minus this one as well as minus this one. So now let me calculate the project, the amount of this one, right? So let me calculate it here basically. 50 plus this one, 50 plus 20 plus 5,000 minus 6,000 and as well as minus 2,400, right? Which become equal to how much? 66,600. So please you can mention now here 66,600. So 66,600 was the cost of the not the cost, the initial cash outflow. So you can consider it as outflow of the project. Once again دوستو دی قسمت بهتون بگم کاست پروژه که ما اینقدر بود کپیتال اکسپندیچر ورکینگ کپیتال ما اینی قسمت اگر کدوم مشکل داشته باشین سعی کنین باز یک بار متوجه میکنیم اینجا که ماشین کونه قیمتش 30,000 بود و این باید با 5 سال استفاده میشد مگر فعلا 2 سال دپریسیشنش چی شده 2 سال دپریسیشنش اون باقی مونده اگر 2 سال هر کد سال 6,000 باشه به این معنی که 12,000 دپریسیشن تونل چی شده اینجا باقی مونده ای به این معنی که اگر ماشین بفروشی حداقل باید به 12,000 بفروشی که نه فایده کنی نه نقص کنی مگر ما ماشین به چند میفروشیم به کمپانی به چند میفروشه به 6,000 پس به 6 که میفروشی 6,000 نقص میکنی این می 6,000 نقص 40% دولت باید بپردازه که چند میشه 2,400 درست است so you have to mention how much you sold the machine if you made profit so what was the profit if you suffer loss what was the loss as you see in this example we suffered loss there was no profit we could make profit only if we sell the machine suppose for more than 12,000 suppose for 20,000 suppose for 15,000 right 12,000 is for the cost remaining amount will be considered as profit would be considered as profit but in this example there is no profit cost was 12 but we sold it for 6 so it means we suffered loss of this money so in this way you can calculate the cost of the project right so let me clean this one. Now let us go for the next one for the annual cash inflow how to find out the annual cash inflow if you see information is given here the new project do not increase or will not increase revenue but it decreased operating expenses 10,000 per year right so it decreased the operating expenses per year once again there is no revenue if no revenue so keep it as like this right so this is 0 and the last one is also equal to how much 0 and remember yes project was equal to for how many years life of the project is not given but it is mentioned it comes under 3 years maker clause remember this point is also important life of the project is not given but it is mentioned that it comes under 3 years maker clause so if it comes under 3 years maker clause it means life of the project so like usual it should be 4 right so decrease in operating expenses 10,000 per year so 10,000 per year we have to mention for each year 10,000 for this year so 10,000 for the next year 10,000 for the next year oh, sorry 10,000 for this year and last one 10,000 also for this year so then we have to adjust it so this one plus this one once again amount is equal to 10 right 10 10 10 and 10,000 that's it next less depreciation see how much should be considered depreciation for depreciation we need some sort of adjustment if there is no sales of old machines so definitely we understood that on that case so we have to consider this to a value for the purpose of calculating depreciation 50 plus 2 20 becomes 70,000 right but now we need to make some adjustment for the calculation of the depreciation remaining depreciation of the old machine as well so for this purpose let me draw a table here and mention for example calculation of change in the depreciation so in this way calculation of change in depreciation so let me calculate the depreciation here okay with one more column here this one. So let me draw one more table here, and on that table I have to calculate I have to adjust the depreciation of the old machine with depreciation of the new machine, right? So in this way, let me calculate it. Years, okay, year one, year two, year three, year four, right? And of course, mention old machine, year one, year two, year three, year four, and also mention new machine. It means old machine depreciation, mention depreciation as well, DEP depreciation, and as well as mention new machine depreciation. Yeah. See this fine? In this case, before to charge the amount of depreciation, how much depreciation should be charged, first of all, we have to make some sort of adjustment for the depreciation itself. For the depreciation itself means, for example, how much depreciation should be charged for the new machine and how much depreciation is remaining from the old machine. If you see in the example, 2 years of depreciation is remaining from the old machine. So 6,000 for 1 year and 6,000 for the next year amount of depreciation is remaining. So in order to calculate the depreciation for the new machine, first of all, in order to find out the net depreciation, first of all, we have to calculate or we have to adjust the old depreciation or the remaining depreciation with the depreciation of the new machine, right? So make one more column to find out the net depreciation, right? Net depreciation. How to find out the old machine depreciation? We know it from the previous formula, right? How to calculate it? So this was the way of calculation. As our project comes under 3 years marker class, see it is mentioned here. It comes under 3 years marker class. So if this is so, cost is 70 and it comes under 3 years marker class, so easily you can calculate from there. So how can you calculate it? Simply let me calculate here itself, right? How to calculate? Cost of the project was equal to 70 into 33.33 percentage, right? So percentage then equal to how much? So this is the amount of depreciation that we have to charge for the first year, right? So let me take this one and mention this one under the first year depreciation, as we know from the first case. So this is the amount of depreciation that we should have for the first. For the next year, how much depreciation we have to charge? We have to charge this much depreciation. 44.45 percentage amount of depreciation is for the next year, right? So how to calculate this one? Delete this one. Yes. How much depreciation is charged for this year? So for the second year, depreciation charge is equal to 31,100 something. Let me delete this one and mention here. For the next year, depreciation charge was equal to how much? 14.81, right? Percentage. And it is equal to this much. This is the amount of depreciation that we have to calculate, right? So take this amount and mention here for the next year. For the next year, how much is the depreciation? It is 7.41. So which is equal to, okay, which is equal to 5,100 something. So mention this one as the depreciation of the last year. So as you see in the case of the old project, 2 years of depreciation is remaining. So 2 years of depreciation of that one should be adjusted for the first year of this one and second year of this one. اگر با داد ماشین کنه 3 سال depreciationش باقی مون ده سال چی میشه adjust میشه. اگر 1 سال باقی مون تنها دیگه adjust میشه. اگر 4 سال باقی مون با کلش چی میشه adjust میشه. درسته؟ چرا ما یه adjust میکنیم؟ به خاطر که دو depreciation در این زمان adjust شده نمیتونه. فقط یکش هم حق داره. واسه خاطر old depreciation امروز depreciation دوری چی میکنه؟ مکمل. So in this we mention 6,000 for the first year as well as 6,000 for the next year. For the next years and next year's amount is 0. So as we have to deduct this one, so I have to show it with the red. چرا ما این کم میکنیم؟ گفتیم که به خاطر که دو دپریسیشن در این زمان ما چارج کردن نمیتونیم و گپ دیگه ای که ما ماشین خود در اینجا فروختیم. وقتی که فروختی دیگه حق دپریسیشن برش نداری، که دپریسیشن حقش نداری، باید در دپریسیشن دیگه ای چی شد؟ مقدارش کم شد. شما این میتونید چی بکنین؟ کم بکنین، right? So let me reduce the amount. 23,331 minus equal to 6,000, which is equal to how much, right? 17,000 amount of depreciation remained for the first year. So this much depreciation should be charged for the new machine. And regarding the second machine, how much depreciation should be charged? 31,115. So equal to how much? Equal 25,000 should be charged for the second year for the new machine, right? So this is the amount of depreciation that we have to charge. But for the third year and fourth year, it remained the same. Why? Because there is no remaining depreciation of the old machine for this years. So mention this amount of depreciation here as well. Now this is the net amount of depreciation that we have to mention in this column. So please remember this point, there is a little bit need for calculation of such things. So we need to calculate this one, right? Okay. So this is the amount. So now we have to take this one and mention here. First one is equal to how much? Amount of 17,000. So first one mention 17,000 here. This is the amount. Okay. So now let me mention the exact figure, 17,331, right? For the second year, it is 25,115. For the next year, it is 10,367. Huh? For the next year, 5,187. So as this is negative, so we have to mention it with the red color. So mention it with the red. Now please minus this one. From 10,000 minus this one, from this one minus this one, from this, and so on. So please adjust the amount of the. So let us calculate it, right? From 10,000 minus this one, so let me mention here. 10,000 minus how much? 17,331 equal to remaining amount is 7,331 for this year. But remember that as this amount is greater than that one, of course it means in this case we have to suffer loss, right? Why? Because profit before tax and depreciation is only 10,000, but depreciation is 17,331. So this is of course with a negative sign, so we will record it negative later on. So first let us calculate for the next one. If you calculate for the next one, difference will be 15,115, right? And if you calculate for the next one, again it will be minus but 367. And for the last, let us adjust it here. So how much is the amount? 5,187, right? So difference is positive. Only in this one it is positive, rest is negative. 4813, right? So rest of that, all of them are negative. So as they are negative, so please mention it once again with the red color. Now minus the amount of tax. For each of them, of course, as it is negative, we are not paying tax, but we are collecting the tax back from the government. So if this is so, now let us calculate this one. For the first year, how much we calculate or we take back from the government? First year, we take this much, 7,000. So 7,331 into 40 percentage, right? Tax rate is equal to how many percentage? 40 percentage. So equal to how much? So this is the amount that we have to receive back from the government, 2932, right? 2932 is the amount that we have to receive back from the government. Good. For the next one, let us calculate for the next one as well. How much is the loss of the next year that we have to receive back from the government? 15,115, right? This is the amount that we have to receive back from the government. for that purpose. So this is the amount, 66,046. We have to receive back from the government. And for the next year, it means for the last year, how much we have to receive? Not for the last, for the third year, 367, right? 367. How much we have to receive on this one? For this one, we have to receive 147. 147 we have to receive back from the government. But in this year, as we have profit, so we have to pay tax for the government, right? So this year we have to pay tax. How much is the amount? 48, 13. On this one you have to pay tax. But how much tax we have to pay? You have to pay tax of 1925. 1925 we have to pay tax on this one. So as rest of them are the positive, only one is negative. چرا دیگهش پوزیتیو است این نگاتیو به خاطر که این تکسی است که ما به دولت میپردازیم مگر در این سالهای دیگه چون ما نقص کردیم به جایی که ما بپردازیم ما دولت این مقدار پول دوبارش میگیریم پس میگیریم. Now let us calculate profit after tax and depreciation. How can you calculate? From this one minus this one, from this one minus this one, this one minus this one, on from this one minus this amount, right? So let me calculate one of them only. How to calculate, right? So how much? 2,932 minus 7,331. So it is equal to how much? Again, it is not negative 43.99, right? This is the amount. For the next year, how can you calculate it? 6,000. It is 6,046 minus amount of 115, right? So positive equal to how much? Again, we have negative amount of equal to 9069. 9069. For the next year, let us calculate. 147 minus amount of 367, right? Equal to 220. How much? 220 as the negative. And for the last year, equal to 4,813 minus the amount of how much tax we paid? 1925. 1925 is the amount that we paid as a tax. How much is the amount? 28, 8, 8, right? That's all the case. So these three once again become negative. Why become negative? Because from this one minus this one again it become negative. چرا که مقدار منفی ما چی بود؟ زیاد شد. مگه چی مونده فعلا؟ مثبت مونده. Now we have to add once again the amount of depreciation. How much depreciation we have calculated? So mention the amount of depreciation for each of them. First year, this was the amount of depreciation. Second year, this was the amount of depreciation. Mention it here. Next year, this was the amount of depreciation. I mean that net depreciation. Do not take this depreciation. So mention or take the net depreciation, right? And for the last year, this was the depreciation. Please take this one once again and find out. So as we are not deducting this one, we are adding back. So we have to take it normal. Now, please adjust it. So this one plus this one, this one plus this one plus this one plus this become how much? As this are negative, so from this minus this, from this minus this. So I will calculate for one, so rest we can do it. So I will calculate only for one. 17,331 minus amount of 43. I'm deducting this amount. 43.39, right? 99. So mention the amount. How much is the remaining amount? 12,932. So I will calculate the rest without this. So in this way, you can calculate for the rest of years as well. So now this is the final year. Final year should be taken from here. And let us calculate the terminal cash flow. So mention here, check that whether the new machine has a salvage value or not. If you see here, the old machine has a salvage value of equal to how much? 10,000. So now mention the salvage value of equal to how much? 10,000. Do we have disposal cost? No, it is not mentioned in the question. Whether we made profit or not? Yes. If anytime, if you charge the whole cost of the project, as a depreciation, and at the end, even you sell that project for $1, it means that's the profit. چون $70 پا کاستش بود، ما $70 من از depreciation چی کردیم؟ مد نظر گرفتیم. به این معنی که دیگه مصرف نمونده، مگر در آخر اگه با 1 روپا هم بفروشیشه، به این معنی که 1 روپا به تو چی است؟ فایده است. اینا در آخر ما هم در جیران سال یا 5 سال کاست کاور کردم، مگر در آخر به $10 فروختیم. این $10 چی میشه؟ به نفع فایده میشه. درست است؟ پس اینجا tax chart میاد. چقدر tax charge؟ 40% is the tax rate. So apply 40% of 10,000 become equal to how much? 4,000. As we have to minus this one, once again we have to take it with the red color, right? So tax saving, of course, no. Why? Because in this case it is now over. At the beginning, did we have the amount of tax? Yes, there was increase in working capital. So there was increase in capital and we added, right? If it is increased at the beginning, it will be decreased at the end. If it is decreased at the beginning, it will be increased at the end. Or if otherwise you will be confused, or if you get confused in this way, just see the sign. If it is positive at the beginning, it will be positive at the end as well. So mention under the positive. How much was the amount of tax? Amount of working capital, 5,000. So there is no amount for this one. Now let us calculate the whole amount, right? 10,000 plus this one plus 5,000 minus this amount. So you get how much? 5 plus this one becoming 5 plus 10, 15 minus this one become 11, 11 plus this one become 19,000. Okay, become 19,085. Become 19,085. This 75. 19,075 is the amount. Now let us and this is the amount for the final year. Now let us make some sort of adjustment here. So please let us make the summarization. Mention the cash outflow. Cash outflow was equal to 66,600, right? But cash inflow gets start from here. So we have to mention all these inflows here. So mention the inflow for the first year. Mention the inflow for the next year. Inflow. Mention the inflow. Mention the inflow for the next year. This is the amount. And for the final year, please do not take this one. Instead of that, take this amount. How much is 19,000? It is 19,000 okay 25. So this is basically the summary of the project. So once again, let me summarize. In this kinds of project, we have two issues. One is regarding the sales of old asset. We have to check that we made profit or we suffered loss. And the next, if some years of depreciation is remaining, so we have to adjust the depreciation first before to mention the net amount of depreciation here. And at the end, of course, we have like the usual. So this was the way of solving the question. Thank you so much.